check out this mess. Now this is what's left of a Macintosh PowerBook 5300 CS, I want to say. I know it's, I believe anyway, that it's color, but the stickers are gone. This was given to me at HamFest 2022, I think. I don't think it was that long ago. I think it was 2022. And as you can see, this has done the typical thing that these PowerBooks do. It has just completely and utterly fallen apart at the hinges. Fortunately, this past year, maybe it was HamFest 2023. It was probably HamFest 2023. I don't think it was that long ago. But this year, I picked up another unit that is in good physical condition but is not functional. My understanding is that this one is functional. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull apart the rest of this, or try and pull apart the rest of this, so that way I can flip this around and see if I can get the logic board out of this one. Because if I wreck them, I'd rather wreck this one, because the case plastics are pretty much completely and utterly useless at this point. And see if I can make one good unit out of the two. Okay, I've done a bit more disassembly, and I'm telling you what, folks, I am not liking what I'm seeing as far as how to swap the logic board. I think that's basically a non-option at this point. I don't think I will be engaging in that shenanigans. So, because it looks like you gotta pull the entire machine apart anyway, just to get to those standoffs. And my hope is that none of these are broken, I guess, is what I'm thinking. And I'm gonna have to just swap the screen off the other one. I'm gonna have to take my good display and hopefully, hope beyond all extensive hope, that the plastic here on that one, because you can see on this one, that's completely destroyed. But just hope that I can get that other display apart without damaging it. I don't know, that's pretty nerve-wracking. But I guess it's what we're going to have to do. Because you got to pull the screen out in order to change the motherboard. Sorry, the logic board on this thing anyway. And I can't figure out how to get this out. This whole assembly doesn't really want to come out. There's a hard drive. It is what? It is IDE. It's a 500 megabyte hard drive. So that's good. I think the other unit I have has a hard drive as well. And that's probably going to go into my PowerBook 150, because yes, I have a PowerBook 150 as well that needs some help. But I'm going to see if I can get this put most of the way back together. And then I'm going to start pulling the other one apart, I guess, because I think I'm basically resigned to that at this point. Okay, my camcorder wants me to change its battery, but I think I'm going to skip on that for a bit and see if it'll run. It looks like this has suffered pretty much the same problem as this one, which is my donor unit for the display. I'm hoping that it is going to work anyway. I had this off, like I said, or maybe I didn't say, I don't know. I think I did. I think I made a video clip about that, but I forget already. I had this off. It looks like the damage is pretty much confined here. There's no damage to the logic board. And taking a look at this lower pan actually looks like it's in fairly decent condition. So I don't feel bad about reusing that. What I really want to do with this one, and I'm going to be really gentle with this. I just heard a crinkle. Is I'm going to want to pull off these side plastics. I don't know how far this is going to go. That's probably as far as I want to go with it. These side plastics, these covers over this will have to come off. And fortunately I have the rest of the pieces so I can see how that's done. it looks like there are 2 screws holding those in, basically right here. So the keyboard's got to come out. I don't know. This is just kind of an oyster can, to be brutally honest with you. I don't like this design at all, the more I dig into it. But I'll close this bag up, and I think I got to flip it around, and I got to take a couple screws out of the bottom in order to get this keyboard to come out. I'm really hoping that that's all I have to do is keyboard, these 2 pieces, there's 2 screws here, there's a connector that needs to come out, and that should be it. I am hoping I don't have to pull this display panel apart. Okay, I've got the keyboard out. I'd like to take this palm rest off. And I don't know if it's got a screw underneath it. No, so there is the, obviously there is the connector there for the trackpad. But I think that this is in better condition than my original machine. I've also got these 2 plastic things on the side off, and I'm telling you what, that was nerve-wracking. Because the way to do this is just really just not good. I don't know what they were thinking, or if they were thinking at all when they designed this. I mean, it's 90s Apple. You never know if they were thinking or not. Seems like it's a very value-engineered design. But now the only thing that I've got to do, I have 2 things. I have to pull this, get this connector out, and then I should be able to just take these 2 screws out, and this assembly should come out. And then I can set that aside, and again, work on my donor machine over here. Or, this is the donor machine, work on the other one that's sitting over there. It's off. There it is. Sweating bullets the entire time, man. Oh my gosh, what an awful design. The only thing that's providing any strength to those hinges is this. That's just unbelievable. Then again, it's not like a lot of PC laptops of the time are any better. A lot of those have the same kinds of problems. But wow. That is just bad. I pulled this plastic piece here off. It's this thing here. It's just a piece of plastic, nothing more. Because the donor machine here actually has a good one for reasonably small values of good. I have a feeling that when I go to put this on, it's just gonna crack and break. This one already did crack and break. You can kind of see it there. So that's probably a junk piece. Let me get this out of the way. I'm still thinking whether or not I want to save this palm rest. I'll have to check the condition of this one. And again, same thing with the keyboard. Alright, new screen is in place. So now what I have to do is I have to get the palm rest figured out. And this is the one from my original machine. I don't know. You take a look at that. Compare and contrast it, if I can actually figure out where it went, to the other one. I might have lost it. Oh, it's on the other machine. I think they're probably about the same in terms of condition, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. I think I'm just going to, well, no, that just rubs off. Yeah, they're probably about the same, so I'm just going to put this one back in place. Okay, I got these dumb plastic things on. I think that the way that you are technically supposed to do this is to pull the screen off of the hinges and then pull these things off, but no thank you. I got them on there without that, doggone it. So I put the RAM card back in. That may have been a mistake, because I don't know how I'm going to get to those for the keyboard. Okay, here it is on the workbench. Ready to go. I have a power supply plugged in. That feels kind of loose. I'm not overly optimistic about this, but you only live once. Camera battery decided to die just before I plugged it in. I don't know, I hope that's not an omen. Something just went pop. Ooh. It's not doing anything. Oh. There's some life. Okay, well that was a little odd. I unplugged it and plugged it back in. Now I have a blank screen. I don't know. Why you no work? I'm knocking over everything now. Come on, computer. It doesn't have that much RAM. At least I don't think it does. Maybe it does, I don't know. Well, this is irritating, and once again serves to drive home the point that the design on these things is crap. Apparently there's a problem with the display ribbon cable or the display itself on this unit, or sorry, the donor unit. So now I gotta find a way to swap these display panels around. Like, really? Wow. Boy, howdy. What an ordeal. I've spent an hour and a half working on this. This should have just been a simple screen swap. I guess not. So, this is busted, and there's literally nothing I can do about it. So that's the way that that's going to be. Everything else has gone back together just fine. Except for this, which I actually had to pull off of the donor unit because the original one got stuck. Trying to put it on and trying to pull it off, it snapped. So, there's that. But now, finally, after all of that, and now is when it probably won't work, I realized I forgot to put the frickin' RAM card back in. But we finally have a system that powers on with a working screen. Jesus. So now you can see what it does. If it does still work, because it might not. Oh, there it goes. Well, I wasn't looking at it. Of course, this is the passive matrix display. These controls do work in both directions. Sort of. I think the brightness control just stopped working, but oh well. This is probably extremely slow because there's no memory card in it. Fortunately, I hope, I don't have to pull the whole damn machine apart just to put a memory card in this. Alright, I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Okay, take like 65 million. Let's see what happens now. Still chimes. Oh yeah, that's more like what it should be doing. And that was a lot faster. I don't know how much RAM it had before, but... Or, sorry, how much RAM is on the logic board, but... I suppose I could go look that up. Maybe I should go look that up, so that way at least I've got some more information about what this machine is supposed to be. Yes, thank you. Whatever you say. Norton File Saver, scanning hard drive for problems. That is definitely loading very, very slowly. Supposedly these machines, I think, could take a CD-ROM drive, but this one just has the floppy. It was used with an image writer, apparently. Okay, this thing, where's the mouse? There it is. About this computer, what have we got installed? Oh god, it's 8.1. 24 megabytes. Ugh. This thing could take up to 64 megabytes. So I don't know if this machine's got 8 megabytes on board and a 16 megabyte card, or if it's 16 and 8. I do know that this is probably not going to give me anything any better though. So, this is what it's got. I can't believe somebody put 8.1 on this with only 24 megabytes of memory. I pity that poor fool. The fit and finish on the front of this does not feel very good, but it's in place. So I don't know what more to say on that one. CoStar. CoStar printers. Envelope printing. Now, anyway, let me gather some information about this machine and I'll wrap this video up. Okay, for those of you who know Apple's history very well, the 5300 basically needs no introduction as being the lemon piece of junk PowerBook of the 90s. For those of you that don't know Apple's history, the 5300 was introduced in 1996, I believe. Sorry, 1995, and was discontinued a year later. There were a number of innovative features about it. It was the first to have hot swappable drive bays. I think I mentioned earlier in the video that these could have had a CD-ROM. I don't think that was actually true. These were the first machines. The 5300s were the first to have the PowerPC processor. There was a PowerBook 190 that was introduced at the same time that shared the same basic design that had the Motorola processor in it that you could upgrade to a PowerPC if you wished to do so. The machine has a 100 MHz PowerPC 603E in it. There were no other models introduced, so it's just the 100 MHz. There was a later 5300 CE clocked at 117 MHz. Good luck finding one. Other notable things about this system: it shipped with either 8 megabytes or 16 megabytes on the system board in terms of RAM. My belief is that this one probably has 16, or maybe it only has 8. Could go either way. And then to expand the memory, you had to get a special card that you saw there. They look like this. If I can find where I discarded the other one. This here is an 8 megabyte card. 512 kilobytes of video memory, which means I believe that this supports 256 colors at best. If I could actually move the mouse here, that would be great. Let's see. Displays. Or monitors and sound. Here we go. This is OS 8.1. Which is not what it would have shipped with in the slightest. How long it takes to bring that up. Yeah, 256 colors at best, at 640 by 480 for the internal panel, which for 1995 I guess wasn't that bad, especially since this is just a cheap passive matrix display, but you could certainly get better than that. These machines didn't initially support external displays, or at least didn't support them out of the box. I don't want to move this too much because the power connector's loose. This one actually has the outboard video port, which you can see right there. These shipped with either a 500 or a 750 megabyte IDE hard drive, which again was a departure for Apple. At the time, most of their machines were still using SCSI, but this one used IDE. And it had a 500 megabyte drive in it, as you saw. It hasn't been changed, and there's a lot of stuff on this machine. Take a look at this. It's almost full of stuff. It does say something about a modem being an option. I don't know that this one has that option. It looks like it does not. Somebody wrote on it what they were. That's kind of funny. Yeah, here you can see the display, microphone, speaker, HDI 30 SCSI. There's a single Apple serial port there, and I don't know if it's GeoPort compatible, but it probably is. And there's your ADB connection. It's got PC card slots, so that's kind of nice. You can add your Ethernet that way. It's shipped with 7.5.2, which is kind of an oddball operating system. Most of these probably ended up running 7.5 or 7.6. This one's running 8.1. It's not going to keep 8.1. It is going to be getting 7.6 in all likelihood. Maybe only 7.5, given it's only got 24 megabytes of RAM. I have PowerBook 100s with more RAM than that, so it's really kind of pathetic. I was expecting to see at least 32 megs. At least the machine's running. I probably will have to look at another one because obviously the hinge here is broken, so that's going to have to get replaced again. Guess we now know who owned the machine. Oops. I closed it and apparently it broke. That's a common problem with classic Mac OS that I don't miss. Apparently somebody was using this with an iOmega zip drive. I pity that fool. Here's what's left of the base. As you can see, that battery really did get into this. So, it doesn't look too bad, but, you know, looks can certainly be deceiving. Speaking of deceiving, this logic board actually doesn't look too bad. This looks like it would actually be potentially salvageable if somebody knew what to look for. I was told that it would not power on, and I know that one of the big things to look at on these is the power jack, the DC jack right there, because that doesn't look very good. So again, I'm sure that all it probably needs is to have this fixed, and it would probably be fine, but I don't need any of this stuff anymore. This is the little video output adapter. Looks like it's got its own video memory. That's kind of odd. This is the infrared. There's a little plastic door that goes over the infrared. This part's the part that really kind of concerns me. This has the battery, the CMOS battery, and also the, looks like the charging circuit and all these other things. It's got a bunch of crappy capacitors on it. The thing that gives me pause is look at all the damage. I can get this plastic out of the way. Look at all the damage on that. I wonder if that would stop this from running. I don't know if you actually need this board to work in order to power the machine on. But yeah, that's pretty bad. There's the hard drive. And it's a 500 megabyte. That's going to go into another machine. There's the magnesium frame. I assume this is magnesium anyway. You can see there's even some corrosion on that. It's got the feed in it. And of course the floppy drive. So maybe some useful parts for somebody, which by the way is not your invitation to beg, plead, or cry for it on YouTube, because I'm not selling it through YouTube. And a machine that, even though, yes, the hinge is still damaged, it's at least a little more intact than it was. And, well, it's running now, in essence, is what I've got. I'm peeved that I had to pull that display panel apart, because if I didn't have to pull the screen apart, this probably would not have ended up damaged as it did. But, whatever. I'm sure at some point I'll find one on eBay that this in good working health, and I'll pull that apart. And maybe it'll even have more RAM, I don't know. But for now, that's basically it. So thank you for watching, and if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. If it will actually shut down here. This is more like a PC shutdown. Boy howdy, it's taking forever. It doesn't want to power down, does it? There it goes.